Hello, this is Donna Marie, host of the Best Life of Wellbeing podcast, and we are wrapping up Mental Health Awareness Month by focusing on the art of letting go, preparing for your end of life through decluttering, purging, clearing, organizing, and sorting. We are continuing our discussion titled The Art of Letting Go. And today's conversation is with Miss Emmalyne Head, founder of Southern Bell Cleaners. Southern Bell Cleaners provides commercial, janitorial, and extreme decluttering services in the Washington, D.C. area. I'm just very excited about this conversation. So welcome, Emmalyne. Thank you for joining me today.
Well, thank you for the invitation. I'm really excited about today's conversation.
Well, why don't we start off with you telling me a little more about yourself?
All right. So, as you said, my name is Emmalyne Head, and I own Southern Bell Cleaners. And as you can hear from my accent, I am a true Southerner. So I am a Music City, Nashville native, and I've been in the Maryland, D.C. area for a few years now. And so we came into existence November of 2020. We started with residential and then transitioned into commercial, but along the road, I was tasked and somebody asked me to help a young lady in Alexandria who was facing an eviction from her HOA. And so when we went in there, it was very overwhelming as far as housekeeping that needed to be brought back up. While we were in there, I chatted with her. She was, she was from Florida. She's been in Alexandria, pretty much her whole adult life. Doesn't have any family here. She didn't have a spouse. Often people who are not married or don't have children are kind of forgotten. And so, when was the last time you checked on your friend who was single or checked on your friend who didn't have children? She was dealing with depression, and it was just very hard for her to maintain her household condition. And so I just fell in love with helping those who need just that little additional care and a little bit additional, organization, so they can be able to live in a healthier and safer home again. So that's really become like one of my passion projects. I'm an engineer by trade, so I have a mechanical engineering and undergraduate, and then a master's in environmental engineering. And so I worked in automotive for 8 years, enjoyed it. I was looking for other opportunities, just like a lot of people were kind of in that 2019, 2022 time frame. I stepped out on faith and I started the commercial janitorial. And like I said, it just kind of it almost ordered my steps. Like I hadn't even planned on even moving into the extreme declutter area, but I was just kind of like brought into it, and it really just my passion has really just bursted out of it.
Many of us don't think about our end of life, and we especially don't think about what to do with our stuff. And that's what this podcast is really all about, for the most part, the art of letting go. I know people have really, and I have really a tough time releasing things. Especially our, sentimental value items, and just releasing it, period. I mean, I have conversations with people who have clothes of different sizes, and they're like, I'm going to get back into that 6, even though
exactly.
So they refuse to let it go. And, you talked about hoarders. It's a mental health condition.
Yeah, it is.
People are going through something, and we are all going through something, particularly after COVID. But many of us have not dealt with the trauma we experienced. We just go on with our life, and at some point, not dealing with your trauma and not dealing with your stuff catches up with you.
When I say clutter, it's just unorganized, and what we deal with are more extreme cases where somebody is in a home that is they're making themselves more liable to infestations. They're making themselves more liable for trip and hazard falls because they don't have a clear walkways established. So those are the homes that we like to come in and help. So that's more when I say clutter, we're getting into an unsafe home. Now a lot of people have, when you are busy families, you have 3 or 4 kids, you have clothes everywhere, that's cluttered as well, but we're more looking at extreme cases. And then honestly, even when a lot of people use the term hoarding, but honestly, I think probably 90% of our clients are really just dealing with depression. So it's not really per se, because hoarding is more the anxiety that you build, and resistance that you have in letting go of some items.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is, it's just depression. And once we get in there, they're ready. A lot of people are ready to let go and release, this, so they can, entertain again. They can, be in a better living condition again. When you're going through depression, housekeeping is the last thing that you're even thinking about.
Once a person's house is cleaned or organized or decluttered,
Mm-hmm.
do you in any way help them to maintain that decluttered state? Do you offer them tips? Do you offer them help?
So a lot of times, what will be tasked to, so it's two main reasons why we're contacted. It's one, the EMTs have been sent out there and they're seeing the condition that somebody's living in. And so they're being contacted to say, hey, this is a situation, you need to come in. And then the other way that we get a lot of our referrals is, someone will be about to receive home health care services, which is like companions, housekeeping, just overall social services. And that person cannot come in and actually give them efficient care. So then we'll come in and we'll get it to a nice baseline that they can maintain. And so our focus that we go off of is a little bit of manufacturing. So I brought a little bit of my process engineering into to decluttering. So there's a Japanese workplace methodology that's called 5S. So it's sort, set in order, shine, sustain, and standardize. So that's just how in manufacturing, you put the broom in the where it says put the broom. It's just a way that you can organize a facility. And so I've taken it into the home. I always tell people, let's focus on the 3 S's. Let's focus on sort, let's go through. I mean, and so I do a lot of activities with them as far as let's getting it sorted, because, we have a lot of items that have a lot of memories tied to them. Like this morning, a lot of one of the attendees this morning, she was talking about how she has an album that has all of her children's report cards from kindergarten to 12th grade. Every single report card, and it's in an album. So we have a lot of items that mean have a lot of value to us, and so I respect that. We understand that. So we go through the sorting process. We sit here and we'll pick, what is here to keep, what is here to donate, and what are we getting rid of? What are we absolutely, able to get rid of? We set in order. We sit here and we manage items. We'll set them up for success. We'll find deodorant in the kitchen. No, why is deodorant in the kitchen? So we'll set them back up so they can more efficiently run the house. And then the last S is shine. So we will not do their actual maintenance cleaning, because we don't do reoccurring residential cleaning. But what we do is we do have referral partners where we'll refer them to somebody who, if they are people who cannot maintain, they have mobility issues, we will refer a cleaning company that can come in and actually clean. But then I also tell them, just little tricks as far as like a lot of seniors, the first thing they say is, oh, the vacuum cleaner is just too heavy. Well, hey, I recommend people getting those stick Dysons. They're very light. They're very easy to manage. They're very easy to remove and dispose of the trash. And so I try to set them up for success. And then a lot of times they'll have somebody come in, either a home health aide that can help them keep and maintain once we do the initial reset of the house back to a healthier condition.
That's awesome work. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So is it
Mm-hmm.
three S's with the Japanese methodology?
So it's five, but for when I'm working with my clients, we just focus on three, which is sort, set in order, and shine. So
Okay.
those are the three things that I ask you to do. So we're going to sit here and you'll sort with me. We'll set in order and then we'll come in and we'll clean. And then you could just maintain that system, which is actually the sustain part. So that's the other S. And then like even this morning, I was telling them if you want to, you can standardize, make sure that it's a system that works for you. So, for instance, I like the example I like to use a lot of times is that I'm a Sunday laundry person. I've been a Sunday laundry person, I don't know for how long. And so every Sunday, it's not every other Sunday, not once a month Sunday, every Sunday I do all loads of clothes, sheets, towels, and everything. So I was saying that that's the system that works for me. Whereas I have friends who are I'll throw a load in as I go. They can sit here and they can efficiently manage, washing one load on Wednesday, one load on Thursday, one load on Friday. Their lifestyles might be different than mine. So that's what is a good way for them to standardize and for them to be able to stay on track is to slowly do it all because they don't have the time to do it all on one particular day.
Yeah.
So I tell them as you're cleaning and you're getting into your routine, I encourage people to find what works best for you, what system works best for you. And so you can standardize it and make sure that you can sustain whatever that system is. So I might come in and I might tell you, okay, do it on Sunday. You might not have 4 hours on Sunday to dedicate to laundry. So you have to do what you can sustain. So, but it is three S's that I really like to focus on.
Okay, I love that. That is easy to remember,
Mm-hmm.
and so as you are leaving them to shine, they can continue to remember, okay, sort, set in order, so I can continue this shine I have.
Yep.
And I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure once those places are organized and set in order, the person feels so much better.
I mean, the best feeling is one of our clients just passed the inspection. And so he's been a tenant in this apartment for a couple of decades. So, this is where he can afford. So it was like we left the last day, he was like, thank you. And he was like, I feel better. So it's like his mind was so shifted on focusing on this inspection, he didn't even realize like I'm in a better bathroom now. I'm sleeping in a clean bed now. And so then he started like really realizing like the condition that he had been living in, and he was like, "Hey, I can invite people over again." One of our things that we're very passionate about is allowing people that um that support in that mental space of wanting to entertain again, because what we really realize is that it's like this ever going cycle. So your house is cluttered, so now you don't want to have friends over because the way it looks. So now you're just a little bit more depressed and more introverted, more isolated. So it's a repeated cycle. Whereas if we can come in there, we can get you to a nice condition where you can feel comfortable about entertaining again. You're more likely to maintain it because you want to continue that interaction.
Yeah.
So those are the things that's when we know we've had a win. When they say, I can invite people back over again, or they recognize like, whoa, I did have a lot of bugs in here, or I mean, those are the kind of things that we are that's our wins, and that's what really drives us, even my team. When we go in no judgment, and we go in and we're like, hey, they're coming back up. They're going to, they're going to sleep. I mean, a lot of people, you would be surprised how many people aren't even sleeping in their own bedrooms. They're not taking efficient showers. They're using bath bathtubs as storage. It's a lot of things that you don't even know how people are living. We're just happy to be like one small piece to bring them back to a healthier living condition. And a lot of it is our older population, their mobility issues.
Yeah.
So they just cannot, do the housekeeping that they want to do. And so it's like that's when we're like, okay, we got to win. We have a win. And a lot of them are exactly, what I said, they're elder orphans. And so a lot of them just do not have that support system around them that is checking on them weekly, or coming by and doing a little tidying. They don't have that person that's doing that for them. We were in a home the other day. She walks with a walker, so once that item falls on the floor, it's just on the floor.
Yeah.
Because it's so much for her to try to get that item back up. So a lot of things were just literally just falling on the floor. And so like sometimes she does a crawl thing to try to get it back up, but it's a lot of it is just mobility.
Your business doesn't just focus on decluttering, though. You focus also on commercial building.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about the other aspects of the work that you all at Southern Bell, and how big is your team?
So we're 7. So we a strong 7. So we're trying to grow, and so as we add additional contracts, we are expanding. So I am proud of my team, and so we've come a long way. But so and then one thing that I hire people who are often forgotten in the job market. We work with a lot of special need training centers in the area. Or no, they get paid the same rate that everybody else, but I just really feel like janitorial is very routine work.
Yeah.
And I just feel like this is a whole arena of employees that need to be tapped into more. And I mean, they're often really neglected and overlooked. And I encourage other janitorial companies or other companies, small businesses that are, if you have the time, the training up front, you might need a little bit additional training at the beginning. And a lot of these companies offer training buddies, and they'll send somebody out to pair with them as well. So you really don't have to carry the whole burden of training. But I mean, my team, when I see the growth in them and I see the growth in the company, it just makes me smile. So we're a commercial janitorial company where we, like I said, we do office buildings, we do a lot of religious institutions in the area, and uh but our specialty service that is like one off. So the office buildings are our everyday work, but the extreme declutter is when we work with different agencies. Like we work with social services, we work with a lot of different agencies, a lot of different senior organizations, and then that's the ones where we actually those are just kind of one offs. Those are as they come. So we might get maybe 2 a week, we might get 3 a week, we might get 1 a week. So it's not, a set schedule. It's just per their request out of us.
And so you help people to clean after a move. I saw on your website, even with construction sites.
Yeah, so so those are specialty per request. So today we received a request. There's a home where a realtor had to do a lot of work for this home. I guess it was in a little bit of stress state. So they needed to get repaint, they needed to do a lot of different things. And just so it can get ready to be shown, we'll come in after all of the additional renovations and everything. We'll come in, we'll do a final clean so they can put it back on the market. We really honestly don't do as many move in, move outs because our calendar really has been dedicated to our daytime calendar really has started really focusing on the declutter. So that's where we really can make the most impact. And so we've really started focusing in and honing in on those.
Well, you said up front that you did your strength finders. Is that right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And it showed you one of your strengths is that you're a connector. And I just love that your business is not just about, making money. It is really about serving the community
Yeah.
and making those connections. And so that will help your business to grow. But you're touching so many lives, not just with the elders, but with the people that you're bringing on board. So congratulations to you for having such a vision to connect with your community in that way. And so on that note, I want to ask, you started your business in 2020. Like, to me, you're doing amazing work in just a short period of time. So congratulations so much. What recommendations would you have for an entrepreneur, not necessarily someone interested in the cleaning business, but anyone who is interested in growing their business? What are your suggestions as far as networking? What are the best that you have found agencies and businesses that you've connected with that have helped you to grow your business, but also help you to become more creative?
As entrepreneurs, I mean, we have we are the captains of our destinies.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why one of the things that I really tell people all the time is lean into what you feel like it's not going to be work. Lean into your strength. That if you lean into your niche and you find like, okay, this is the group of people who can benefit from my services. This is who this company is for. You lean into that, then it'll come. So at one time I was doing home organization. That's not my lane. I could care less if your pillows match, if your painting looks like this. I care less if you have a lazy Susan. That doesn't bring me any drive at all. Then so I it went through a lot of different iterations, but when I really leaned in and was like, I enjoy helping seniors who I could be in their same shoes. I could be clearly, I'm here by myself. I don't have family here. I could be that same woman who was sitting on that chair when I went into that house. She, no children, no husband, in an area where she doesn't have family. That could easily be me. So I was like, I want to help people who, I might be in those same shoes. And how can I help them? And so what I realized is that my ideal customer who my company is, made for, because, there's plenty of what they call hoarding cleanup. You got Servport, you got all these different kinds of places. It's a lot of franchises that do it as well. But with us, you're not just a invoice. With us, we want you to, we put on the kid gloves. We're walking at your pace. And once I realized, like, okay, this is who this company is for. How can I get this to them? And then that's when I really leaned in and I was like, a lot of my clients are not looking for me. A lot of my clients, they don't know, where I am, and they're not really per se looking for our services. So I need to go to the companies that are going to connect me to my ideal client. And so then that's when I really started leaning in on, how can I get connected with more seniors? And so I always recommend people like stay focused on your industry. So I'm in our janitorial industry association, which is our BSCIA. So I'm in that. I'm on committees and everything. Then you also, make connections with your local chambers. And so I attend our local chamber events from Alexandria, Prince George's County, Montgomery County. So I really feel like it's important for other businesses to know that you even exist. And then I also really recommend people to lean into your niche, lean into where your clients are, where do your clients go to look for your services? And so then that's when I really started like trying to attend more senior organizations, more activities where they can see that this is a service, and this is a service where you can be well respected. You're not judged at all, and you can get what you need so you can age safely in place. So those are the clients that need to know about our business. Once I leaned into where my ideal client was, it just all started falling into place. Going to the place where they recognize this is your service and this is what makes you different and this is what you bring to the table. It makes it a lot less challenging, as a lot of us senior small businesses, it can feel overwhelming, it can feel challenging. It might be because you're trying to navigate things that are not for you. What is it that makes your company unique and makes your service so valued? And once you lean into that, I feel like you can't lose.
Yeah.
I understand how to navigate this landscape on how do I find what is for me. And I know that you wanted to have more of a conversation about, how to let things go, but we really have to find different ways to get value out of items. And so that's one thing that I really have become way more conscious of. Like when I go to expos, I don't pick up, people, love picking up water bottles, picking up this, picking up bags. I don't do that anymore. When I'm at if I don't need it, I don't pick it up. I don't bring it into my home, because we tie so much value to things that are just items. So my grandmother passed in 2018, and no, 2019, 2019, and we went to her home, and so everybody wanted to take a memory, and so my aunt had given her a hat for Mother's Day, and so I took that hat. When I was packing my home, when I was selling my home, when I was relocating to Maryland, one of the first things I thought about was, so I mean, I'm taking this hat, 10 hours with me. And so like that's when you have to start having conversations on, if I keep this hat, does that make the memory stronger?
Yes.
If I release this hat, does that memory go away? So that's what I really try to encourage people, that, that you taking letting go of the item, it doesn't diminish that memory at all.
Yeah, I interviewed 2 home organizers, and one of them said you could take a picture.
Yep.
Item, keep the item that way, but that, what motivated her to donate the item is because she knew someone would benefit from it, someone needs it, and someone would really appreciate and get joy from having a particular item. And so rather than keeping it in a closet or in a box and never doing anything with it, she recognized that it was a coat her mother had that someone else would really benefit from having that coat. And so she donated the coat. This lady also mentioned that she has like charities on, they have her on speed dial rather. And so every month or so they're calling, asking, do you have anything for us today? And or this month or whatever it is. And so I encourage people to get familiar with your charities and determine what charity you want to support. And decluttering to me is you're doing it your whole life. You're decluttering something you do for a week or a month and then it's done. You're doing it for your entire life. There are things that have meaning today that later on won't have any meaning to you.
I also do a whole, if I order clothes in, I let clothes out. So it's one of those things that I've really tried to be a lot more mindful of now that I'm dealing with all of decluttering. And so I'm just seeing how easy it is, for you to accumulate items. And it just, it could just accumulate on you. And next thing you know, you're closing in on yourself.
A lot of what you shared today is really helpful for releasing and purging and clearing and organizing. Organizing is so important. It starts in your head, organizing your thoughts. When we have more clutter around us, it impacts us mentally. We can't organize our thoughts as clearly. We can't be as creative I don't remember what you said. I think captain of your life or something like that.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah.
Like we are creators, and we can't create when we're surrounded by clutter and when our mind is cluttered with thoughts. I mean, we think a lot of thoughts anyway, but when we don't have any control or organize those thoughts, then that creates clutter in our mind, and that creates clutter in our world. And also the sorts, set in order and shine. That is
Yep,
for
you
people.
got it. You got it. You would get a giveaway if we was at the workshop. You would have got a giveaway.
And so that's so easy for people to remember. So all of this has been really a great conversation. Thank you so much. And one of the things I just want to leave with people is the importance of considering what you want to happen to your stuff when you die. Like, make those decisions right now.
Yeah.
You're the captain of your life, whether you're an entrepreneur or not.
Yeah.
And you can determine that now. You can be proactive. And what do you want your family to know about your stuff? If you died
Yeah.
today, what do you think would happen to your stuff if you died and
Yeah.
didn't make any decisions? And if it doesn't matter to you, great. But if it matters, then it's really important to be proactive today, and have those conversations and give those gifts now.
Me entering into this world of, people who deal with transition has really just opened my eyes. When you are more open about the conversation, is less fear. Like I mean, I feel very confident that I've lived a very good life. And, I don't have that, anxiety. I've set myself up where, I have a X amount of money, for it to be executed. And so those are the kind of things that, a lot of people don't want to sit here and have conversations about, but you don't want somebody in your family, as they're going through the grieving process, they're trying to worry about things financially too. So that was something that was really important to me, was, making sure that it was not going to be a financial burden to anybody, if anything happened to me. So, those are open conversations that we need to have more.
And decluttering helps too. You don't want your family going through your size 6, 8, 10, 12, 20 jeans.
Yeah.
Like, get rid of that.
I think our first conversation, I told you that our most successful sessions that we have with people are when the loved one is still there, because the homes that we've been in after the loved one has transitioned, now everything's a memory. We're the reactive people. We're who you call when you're reacting. Let's be more proactive about things, and let's get things under control, before you even need our services. If we can keep people in good situations to begin with, hey, I feel very good that we've done a great job.
Thank you again so much for being here. Will you tell
Thank
people
you.
how they can find you? Where are you on social media? What's your website? Like, where can people find you if they wanted to use your services?
So I'm Southern Bell Cleaners DMV, everything. So Southern Bell, and Bell is with the EBELLE, Cleaners with the S, Southern Bell Cleaners DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. So Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Our website is www.southernbellcleanersdmv.com. So we're, it's a Southern girl in this DMV world.